Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Frozen Frontier. The party is gathered around after a brutal battle. How much? Let's do a quick check around the table. Who got hurt in that battle?
I did.
Not me.
How
I'm
badly
getting
did you get hurt?
I took 8 damage. I'm at 3.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling dandy. Covered in blood. Pretty sure it's all null.
Okay, so William, you're taking a look around after this battle. There's, half a dozen foes at your feet all over the place. That Null you don't really give a shit about might be dead, might not be dead. And the elf who's always bitching about things and eating people is, at the edge of his capability. Do you think the party can move on?
I think maybe we've got
keep doing what you're doing.
I think we've got to stop for a few days to let Faris heal up slightly. But I'm feeling better. I'm getting into the swing of fighting in the cold. Got a few kills under my belt. And I'm starting to wonder if we've killed this many gnolls, how many does this Bakasa or whatever his name is, Bokassa, have left? It's meant to have about 20, right? We've killed about 8. So 10 or 12 left, maybe. I'm feeling a bit better. I'm secretly quite pleased that Faris has been wounded.
Do you want to elaborate further?
Not to him personally, but I think it's just vindicating my belief that I'm the best fighter in the party and the true leader of the party.
Are you concerned at all that even if you try and rest, you might get spotted, or that you might not get a chance to rest? That they might be on you by tomorrow or the day after?
Well, we've killed all the ones that found us here, so if they send more, I'm pretty confident just fighting them again. I think we can let Faris skip the battle if he has to. I think staying here and waiting for a few days, and if they come, we just fight them, right?
Yeah. Well, let's bring it back to the rest of the party. Everyone together now. You go through these bodies. There are 2 spears for every gnoll that you see, except for 2 spears for every gnoll you see, plus the 2 short bows, plus the arrows and the quivers. You're also noticing that a lot of these packs that they have animals in them. There's a whole bunch of what seems probably a seal meat or something that's been just like shoved in this one like leathery, oily pack. You can tell because of all the extra blubber on it, and it smells a little fishy.
There are a couple of furs.
There are some furs stuck down. Like one person is carrying all the furs of the seals they killed, and the other people are carrying all the meats.
So Yaromir, did you take all of the stone spear and arrowheads? Do you have that noted on your character sheet?
I do. I am in the process of realizing that 16 stone spearheads at a pound each is not going to be tenable for me.
I can take. I'll take. I just want to make sure someone has them. How many are you leaving off?
If actually, do you want to take? Actually, not you. Sean, since you picked up the bows, do you want the arrows to go with them?
I can take the arrows. Yeah, it's 4 pounds for them already.
4 pounds. You have 40 stone arrows.
So stone arrows. 40.
All right, and then do you have the spearheads?
I do. There's 16 of them. Would you like to take 8, Ryan?
Sure.
All right.
8 stone arrowheads.
8 stone spearheads.
Yeah, stone spearheads.
I think Ferris. Oh, sorry. Trying to be a little bit more conscientious at William's behest, and trying to avoid having to kill the fucking gnoll in the party. Ferris instead goes to the seal meat and starts butchering the fat out of it and being cook it over the fire.
I had a question. Who is it, me or Ferris that skins the wolf?
I think Ferris assumes he's going to be the one to do it, but he sets up food first.
Okay, so that's the thing that
I don't say anything. I guess would be
Is that a thing that Ferris does?
Yeah, I have hunting and stuff, and I think I traded furs in town was something I put down for my background, so he definitely has knowledge of skinning.
Don't you think you should be resting though, Faris?
I mean, I could skin an animal while resting, right, Neal?
Probably. You can sit cross-legged and just.
Mm-hmm. I take the big gnoll's bear cloak and sort of set it up either as a blanket for you, or as a mattress to lie on.
Mm-hmm.
While you're skinning and stuff, because
I start the meal, but Ferris is pretty badly wounded, and I probably won't skin it tonight. I guess I'll probably just set up some food to cook over the fire and just kind of lie down in the tent.
Okay, so
and try to man up about the injuries.
Okay. I was trying to figure out whether that was something that would fall to Grimes at all. Out of character, I do have a spare proficiency slot, so I was trying to see whether the leather working was
you can
something
totally
that
do
would
it.
fall to me,
Like I won't be
or if
offended.
something else will come up.
You're welcome to do it. I will not be offended, but you can. Yeah.
Maybe I will give that a shot then.
There's no point. I'm skinning twice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have is skinning a separate proficiency. I just have like survival, which I assumed.
Leather working is usually the relevant proficiency, but I think skinning may be included with either.
All right. So I say, I'm fine, but I think Faris has taken some heavy wounds. I think we should rest here for another day. We didn't let any escape, so it's unlikely that they'll be back here tomorrow. But if they are, we'll just fight them again.
Is this really a wise place to camp again?
It's just as wise as it was last night.
Well, now we're surrounded with corpses.
I propose that we move not far away, but enough that we are not in the same place. It is too easy to just check last known locations.
Well, it's not like they've got
I agree
GPS.
with the tattooed one. There's no harm in going another mile or two south.
Yes,
I think you can manage it, but we wanted to be close to the cave. But
Perhaps
I think
we
we wanted to be close to the cave for the sake of scouting. If we're going to be resting for a few days, there's no need for scouting.
Perhaps we move closer to beach on opposite side of bay. We get a place to perhaps hunt seals, rest up.
Sure. I'm no omen reader, but I don't think it's good practice to sleep amongst the corpses of your enemies.
if we go to the beach, though, won't we be outside of the forest? Or do the trees extend?
The trees do not extend. It would be a little bit out in open. It is a risk there. However, if we are not at cave where they like to hunt, and we are not where we were when we were ambushed, then is better chance we'll be left alone.
Very well. Let's just move. Let's move up the beach then. If we can get some seals there. Like I said, I'm not too worried about if we get attacked again. How many more can there be left? Didn't Nash say there was only 20 grams?
That was my math.
Farther than I thought it was, isn't it?
We've
There
killed
were- There were the 20 was my math. There were 45 in the original tribe before it split. I was guessing that Okasa took maybe half, hence the 20.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose
There could be as many as 30.
they could be both from different tribes.
At this
And
point,
it seems that they, at this point,
assuming
What kind
both tribes started out roughly equal in numbers, I believe Okasa's tribe will have been wounded to about the same point as Musa's.
perhaps. They didn't start off equals. Bokassa was clearly the superior. And it seems that I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. It seems that the higher ranking gnolls are granted these wolves that we saw.
Ah,
I would expect that there are at least 2 or more wolves with the rest of the pack.
if they've got more wolves, I suppose that would lead them to the bodies.
Yes, I think
All
that's maybe how they smell this here. Well, let's move camp at least a little ways.
Perhaps I misspoke earlier. Is particularly not calm day. Is very windy, very snowy, hard to move. We perhaps cannot make it to far side of beach.
Let's just go another mile into the woods.
I
Right?
propose that we move these bodies somewhere to where they could be easily found, perhaps away from us first. Move bodies maybe mile one direction, we move a mile other direction.
We could always just eat them, not leave much behind.
I think in this case that is not as wise. If wolves are smelling for the bodies, then it's possible that we could lead them away from us while I tend to your wounds.
I mean, why don't we just set
leave
up
them
somewhere
here.
where we... Yeah.
Let's move
where
the
we-
camp and leave the bodies here.
And if we can keep a sight on the bodies, if they do find them, we can ambush them.
I believe we should be
And if we move
out
far
of
enough,
sight of bodies, but we could scout.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Look, I say we just go a mile towards the camp, towards Bokas's location.
Can we move a mile? We're gonna be we'll be dragging probably Nash's body, probably some furs. We're gonna be hard pressed to move a couple thousand feet.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait,
Less
really?
than.
I mean, can't we do this while still being at light?
I can't drag. I mean, if we're bringing Nash's corpse with us.
Oh, if we're moving Nash, I think. All right. I believe we'll be fine here for the remainder of the day. I believe we should set out first thing in the morning. Give Nash some time to recover. I don't believe we can move far dragging him behind us.
I don't disagree. This is a good defensible position. We're gonna have to fight them somewhere.
Is
Grime.
possible that our good friend the Neal has outlived his usefulness?
We need him to talk with Musa, right? Isn't the plan to
That was
Fight.
plan, yes.
fight with Musa, defeat Bokassa, and get an ally?
All right.
Perhaps
Brian,
a gift of steel weapon that Bokassa carry is enough to convince. Is option.
Grimes leaves the conversation, I think, and goes to. I start dragging no corpses away from the camp because it sounds like
How
we're
far do you want to drag them?
as far as I can without getting frustrated. Probably winds up being several. Probably I'm gonna say like 3 to 500 feet away. I find like a pit and I just like pile the corpses over there.
Once
Sure.
he starts doing that, I'll start to help.
Yeah, it sounds like we're setting up camp here, so I want to get the. I just don't want to be sleeping next to a bunch of bodies.
Right. You guys make camp. Well, camp is already made. It never got broken down. You move bodies out of the way and hunker down, hoping that the wind will pass you by.
As well,
And I would
Neal,
like-
Actually, yeah, that is one thing I want to do. Since I do have the spare time, I'll make one more survival check to see which way the wind is blowing. We might need to retreat to the cave if it's bad enough.
Sure. Why don't you give us a survival check?
Oh my god.
Never
Nope.
gonna happen, man. Never gonna happen.
All right.
Can we-
I would like to take stock of the furs and see what is worth keeping of the seals that they had, and then of the wolf that we
The
killed.
seal furs look pretty butchered. It looks like they weren't trying to keep them fully intact, but maybe they also seem to be cut into fairly sensible patterns. Like this seal fur might be just right to wrap around your leg and stitch shut, and this would make a pretty good shoe if you fold it up. And like, you know, they're cut into seemingly ordinary, regular pieces.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can make sense of that and try and get some valuables to bring back with us.
Sure.
yeah, how reasonable would it be to like hide the blood by shoveling the snow?
It's moderately windy, so in a couple of hours, the entire field of battle is going to be covered by snow and knocked around. It probably won't be visible by tomorrow,
Okay,
even if you did
cool.
nothing to it.
Alright, let's hunker down for the night then after we've moved the bodies.
That's one of those nice things about this high wind, is that no trail will be found. No
So,
one's going to be able
Sean?
to track you back here.
What does it look like when you are doing these survival checks to check the weather? Right? Like, is this what are you doing?
I always imagined that it's just kind of like Ferris, because I don't imagine it's like he looks up at the sky and goes, oh, the weather is turning south this way. I think it's more like the culmination of a day of just kind of occasionally glancing up at the sky and looking to see like how are the clouds moving, where are they forming, what does it look like over on the horizon, and he just occasionally checks up over the course of the day to see like what's forming, what's breaking apart, what it looks like is heading their way, and what's going to be there by the next day.
Okay. When you fail, right? Is it like, are you just like glancing up but you're not getting anything? Are you visibly disappointed? Is there any reaction at all in you?
I think it's frustrating, and he probably maybe like eventually he'll give up and just start swearing and like it's unreadable, damned weather.
Okay.
But aside
This
from
is
that,
like the second or third time I've seen you like kind of look up at the sky and then just start going, fucking weather,
Yeah.
unreadable bullshit. So I think I see this, and Jaromir walks up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, Fair Ferris, notice you have disagreement with the sky. Are you,
I have many disagreements with the sky.
What is your problem here with sky?
The clouds. I've been trying to read them to know what the weather's going to be like the next day, but I can't find any logical pattern to how they're forming and breaking apart.
Well, I can assure you is not worry. You see, I have ability to commune with the arcane power that flows through all things. I asked, and the bones responded. The weather will not be our problem during this expedition. This is promise Arcane made to Yeromir.
I appreciate the information, but forgive me if I trust my own senses a bit more than the frivolities of magic.
You can try to see pattern in sky. It is possible. I have seen sages who can do this, but know that I too see pattern. It is easier for me to see. Perhaps I can teach you ways of reading the arcane. It is much more identifiable pattern than sky.
I'm not sure the arcane is a pursuit for me.
It flows through your blood, does it not?
Perhaps. There are actions men can take on this world that might stain their hands red, but there are paths through the arcane that will taint the soul black. You walk a dangerous path, Tattooed One.
I do. Anyway, rest easy, my friend. I will tend to your wounds later.
Thank you.
So, Neal, I'd like to prepare a bundle of furs with crappy seal blubber or something on the outside that can get torn up and as I drag it behind me. So I'll spend like the afternoon like wrapping and piling furs into just like a big cube of fur that I could drag with me all the way back to the fort.
Sounds good.
With the crappy furs on the outside, so they'll get torn up over rocks and keep like the wolf pelt and whatever nice pieces of seal blubber were on the inside.
Great. Okay. So you've moved the knoll bodies as far away from you as you feel like comfortable doing. The winds are picking up as the day gets on, and you kind of bind these seal blubbers up together and hunker down in your little tent as the winds pick up and start to howl. It reaches near blizzard conditions by the end of the day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do we have food that we don't have to mark a ration or not?
Yeah. Well, no. All of the seal stuff is raw. I suppose you could
I
cook
did
it.
mention that I was putting it over the fire.
Yeah,
after
I
the
suppose
battle.
you could cook it, so you can start eating the seal stuff, but unless it's somehow preserved, well, it's freezing out here. You could bury the seals in the snow and come back 6 months later, and they'd probably still be fine.
But is there enough to feed us for the day?
Yes, definitely.
All right, save our rations. Looks like we might have to hunker down during the blizzard anyway.
Okay.
It will not be blizzard. The Arcane was very certain of this. Perhaps a little rough, but we will not have problem with weather.
So long as this tent breaks
You
the
say
wind,
so.
I'll be happy.
Alright, you guys hunker down in your camp. The winds pick up. It looks like Yaromir might not really know what he's talking about, because as it goes into night, the wind gets strong. It starts whipping back and forth. The walls of your tent start to kind of like blow in and billow a little bit.
So at this point, does it look... I've been in blizzard conditions before, right?
Yes.
So do I have a rough idea of how much time we're going to hit? We'll have before we hit like untravelable conditions?
I probably wouldn't go outside right now. Like this is evening. It's already dark.
Right.
And
I'm
the
wondering
winds
if
are
it would be
high.
possible for us to make our way to the cave at this point, or if it's too far gone for that.
It's like a mile away.
It's a mile
it.
away, and it's dark, and
I
you
do
guys
have
don't
night
have a
vision.
bearing of north, really. Like
I
there's
have
not.
direction sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
I do have.
think
I also have night vision, so I can see.
Okay.
We just stay here, right? What's the point of moving?
I'm not sure
So-
if our tent is strong enough
So
to
the blizzard-
withstand blizzard
so-
conditions.
It will reduce by 1 level. We might even be losing warmth through the night.
Yeah, that's my concern.
No, I think
So-
the point was that it was neutral on a blizzard with fire and sand.
Yes.
If we-
Yeah.
It's
So
neutral.
we're just... Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because the
we're
blizzard
not-
is
we're
4
not-
points. The tent brings it to 3, and the fire brings it down to 0.
Okay, I'm full
this
on warmth, so
actually
as long as
blizzard?
it's neutral, that's fine.
We're not full. Oh, I'm not full, but I think I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I just
probably-
need to have warmth points so that I can
Actually, I
like, heal.
probably didn't subtract all of mine. I'm gonna So I was 4 points out. I assume it was 4 points back. So I'm at 15 warmth out of 23.
Should we say we all lose 1 for the fight as well?
Sure. Yeah, because you guys are moving around.
We would recover that over the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
But so basically, I'm at full warmth. So I will not. I'll be able to heal still, right? At neutral, warmth-wise.
Yes, but you still need a full day without combat to start healing.
I just want to make sure I'd still heal because you did say like when you're freezing you cannot heal.
Yes.
So the next day, I'll just go out and like try and grab some firewood, but that'll be I think that's the only thing we do if the blizzard holds up.
Well, no, it doesn't. Like partway through the night, the winds spontaneously die down. If you could count it as a blizzard, it was very short-lived. And the next day, the winds are diminished. So far diminished that it's light. It's barely breezing. You would barely qualify this as light weather the next day.
Okay.
That picks back up again. I'd like to be in the cave. Has Nash regained consciousness by morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Varys, do you still need more time to rest?
Can I make the journey? Like I can move a few miles without losing my day of rest, right?
No, moving through the snow will prevent you from healing.
Then we stay.
What about just under a mile to the cave?
Yeah, he's still got to be. It's still strenuous activity.
We're all right here. It's fine.
Sure. Okay. That's fine. Honestly, it's probably safer here than in the cave.
Okay.
Do we have more seal, or do we have to use a ration today?
You've got lots of seal. Yeah, you're fine.
Honestly, the blizzard's perfect because it probably just blew snow over literally everything that we wanted to cover up.
Yeah. When if they were tracking us through the night, they would have had to stop.
Yeah, and there'd be no tracks left after that, so we're good.
Yeah.
So, before we go too much farther, we're going to end the session momentarily here.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know how long you guys want to rest here for.
I would ideally, speaking for me, I get 3 HP per day if I get total bed rest with Yarmir healing me, right?
Is that what we determined? You got a healing proficiency. You don't have an herbalism proficiency, though, right?
I thought it was 2 if you had a healer, but 3 with total bed rest. Because you can get 2 per day by doing like literally nothing but lying in bed.
No, only with the healer.
Only with the healer can you get 2 HP per day.
I'm a healer.
Yeah.
So
but you're not an herbalist.
I could have sworn the book had a way to get 3
healer,
HP per day.
It's a healer / herbalist.
Yeah, with both healing and herbalism, it's 3 per day.
So 1 is bed rest, 2 is bed rest plus healer, 3 is bed rest, healer, and herbalist.
Yeah.
I thought. Wait, is
only characters with both healing and herbalism proficiencies can help others recover at a rate of 3 per day.
okay.
Yeah, that's the line from the player's handbook.
I could have sworn it was like total bed rested too, or something.
Is there
I think there's if you get bed rest for a week, there's a bonus to it.
You get your con bonus.
Just for future reference. When we discussed proficiencies earlier, when we were making our characters, you said herbalism wouldn't work in the Caledonia because it's an icy wasteland. There's no herbalism, so I didn't take it. I didn't bother with it, which is good because I got the proficiencies I wanted that way. I will get, assuming we live and we level up a little bit, more non-weapon proficiency slots. Is there some equivalent icy proficiency that I could learn during my time as a healer here in Caledonia that could get me the equivalency of that herbalism plus
If
3?
such a thing exists, I want it to be unknown until you come across it. I'd like that to be a discovery down the line, if it exists.
Okay, well, let's put a pin in that, right? Like, put that in your DM notebook. That's something
I will keep an idea. Sean, I am now reading here.
I'm looking at the player's handbook, and it says if he has complete bed rest, doing nothing for an entire day, he can regain 3 hit points for the day.
I think that's assuming you have care of a healer with an herbalism.
It does not.
What page is that in the player's handbook?
I'm looking at Purple Worm because I didn't bring the books with me. It says.
Yeah,
it says in both cases above, the characters seem to gain adequate food, water, and sleep.
Both cases, I think, being healing proficiencies.
Are you? What chapter are you in?
It's in combat. Go to healing. It's under natural healing.
Okay. There is one thing. A wounded character remains. If a wounded character remains under the care of someone with a healing proficiency, that character can recover lost hit points at a rate of 1 per day, even while traveling or engaging in non-strenuous activity.
So basically, because
with Greg, you can travel and gain. That's fine.
Yeah, but we could also, if I just get total rest in this tent, I should get 3. Basically, it's because there's 3 tiers of healing. There's like light activity, which is 1. Not doing anything. Wait, what is the one that gives you 2 then? Rest is defined as low activity, nothing more strenuous than riding a horse or traveling from one place to another. Fighting, running in fear, lifting a heavy boulder, or any other physical activity prevents resting. If a character has complete bed rest, doing nothing for an entire day, he gets 3 hit points. So there is no 2 hit point.
It does sound like it's 3 because it doesn't mention anything about proficiencies in this bit.
Yeah, if you look, we've argued about this many times in the past. Because if you look at the healing proficiency, it goes through the tiered system. So our reading was always that that 3 hit points per day are assuming you've got complete bed rest under the care of the healer.
Yeah,
he's got an herbal
healing.
Yeah, that's the way I want to do it. Even if the book specifically said a person getting full bed rest gets 3 HP per day without any healers around, I would house rule that otherwise, because I don't like healing being that quick without special stuff around.
All right, so I think maybe we spend like 3 days then, right? That's going to get Nash to full, and it's going to get you back up to 6. And then if we spend another day walking, you'll get up to 8. Right?
Oh, I know why it's like that. Because proficiencies are optional. So the base rules in the book are written with that, assuming that you don't have healing as a proficiency in your game.
Yeah.
So 3 hit points without a healer is because it doesn't assume proficiencies.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
It's about 3 days then. What do you think?
Okay, that's fine. In those 3 days, I would like to keep somebody out scouting.
Yeah.
I'll be scouting.
Right? Like, I want to be on top of this. I don't want to just be sitting in one place for 3 days necessarily. I would like to do some hunting along the coast for seals, for skins, meat, and blubber, like the 3 primary uses of them. And I would like to be on the lookout for gnolls. Like, I want to, if they get close enough, I want to jump on their ass.
I feel like we've got more than enough food. And actually probably more hides than we're going to be able to... I mean, enough hides that we'll...
Hopefully.
And Yarmir healing me, I get 2 hit points per day, right?
Cave
Yes.
Until we're done here and we've eaten through a lot of our food.
I would like to stay for at least 5 days. I'm down 15 HP.
That is a lot.
That's too many days.
I mean,
ideally, I'd like to stay for 7, but I want to stay for at least 5.
5 days is a problem.
Yeah, so my vote would be to return to the fort, if that's the case. But in character, Grimes is more or less deferring to the leadership.
Well,
but at some point, I may grumble out that opinion.
Well, I think this is why we have William here, is someone needs to make a decision.
So
and I know we could talk about this for a little bit while longer, but we're running out of time. It's getting kind of late, so let's. William, what is the ruling coming down?
It's too risky to go back to the fort with Faris on such low HP. I think we stay here and we keep Grimes on scouting duty for 3 days, and then we assess the situation after that.
Okay, so I would like to practice moving without a trace through the snow. I mean, so maybe in practice that means I'm rolling like hide checks or silently as I'm wandering around, but I'm also kind of curious how easy it is to cover tracks while you're trudging through the snow.
Okay.
Like, am I able to brush over my footprints behind me and cover my tracks? I don't know. So anyways, I'll be doing intermittent laps around the tent.
Those 3 days pass without too much of a problem. There's one night where you hear a pack of wolves howling fairly nearby. And for a moment there, Yaromir swears up and down that he can see one of the gnolls at the edge of his vision. But wolves at the edge of his vision. But they never come close enough to bother you guys.
If I see it, can I shoot a magic missile at it?
I think it's outside of the range of your magic missile.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Neal, you're muted or something.
Hello, mic check.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the wolf's maybe like a mile off, and magic missile's range doesn't quite extend to that.
Okay.
So we're just going to skip 3 days. The first day is that nice light weather. The second day is light as well. The third day jumps back to moderate, and we're going to start the game on the 4th day. This is, for those of you keeping track at home, Wednesday, the 5th of July. And the weather is moderate again.
Is the seal meat still holding up?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Okay.
frozen to the bone. So
I mean, we
you-
heat it up over the fire, I guess.
Right, you
So-
can heat it in the
like
fire, but it's not
recook
going to rot because it's icy.
And I think we're also gathering firewood nearby.
Yeah.
Have
Firewood's not an issue.
we been eating from our rations at all, or has it been all seals?
I've been assuming you can eat from your rations, but I've been assuming we're just going through seals.
You can just
Yeah.
be eating seals, but it's
Okay.
going to get a little monotonous. Like seal meat
in.
for days on end
And
as
dry
your
rations
only meal. Like you're
not
super
bad.
constipated, man. Like,
I'm gonna eat at least one ration mixed in. seal
and
meat.
do you know how hard it's going to be to like,
Only today.
go to the bathroom when you're super constipated from only seal, and it's like, moderate winds, and all you got to wipe your butt with is ice. Like, you're going to start
well-
chafing hardcore with that.
So let's all spend a ration then.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna. You don't have to, but I recommend spending a ration to save your butt.
All right, that's fine. I'm down to a single days of rations after.
All right, don't worry. I've got 27 days.
I've got another 10 days as well,
Okay.
so I think we're fine.
I think this is going to be where we call it for the day. So why doesn't everyone track how much food they've gone through? Everyone heal up all the HP that they've gained. It's 3 days, so that should be 6 HP for everyone.
Yep.
Nash is back at full. He's remained very quiet for the last few days, just not talking really, unless directly prompted to. And
XP?
Experience.
let's do some experience. Okay.
648.
High combat today, right?
Yep.
A lot of combat. So that first Knoll pack fled, but they had 2, 3, 4, 5 Knolls plus the lieutenant. The second pack had basically the same thing, 5 and a lieutenant. So that's 10 Knolls.
And a wolf.
On a wolf.
10 Knolls, 2 lieutenants, and a wolf. Where's my?
And a bit of, role-playing experience. Get that up to 648.
Maybe I should just let you dictate how much XP everyone gets.
Seems fair.
Well, don't forget the experience. We never calculated about the first session when Ferris got his Pegasus with Bardine of AC 20.
Oh, right, right. How could I forget? Yeah, that seems about right. Plus, I think each lieutenant's probably worth 300 experience, like 600 there. I should write these things down.
I think roleplay is usually 200 per person.
To be honest, I usually just do 50% of all other experience.
Oh, that works.
Wow.
That's usually how I do it.
I'm not complaining. I was just
Yeah.
letting you know in case you didn't have a system for it.
No, I think my system's shitty though, because that means like on high combat days, then roleplay experience is somehow worth more, and on low combat
should
days
be
it's
the
somehow worth
opposite,
less.
right?
Which is
Right.
wrong, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking
wrong,
of pulling an
but that's how
experience
it's.
system from just another game.
I feel like
done
for
in the
this sort of
past.
exploration campaign, you could start giving like set XP rewards for certain things.
Well, yeah.
Like
So I
start putting landmarks on your DM map and saying, okay, when the players discover this thing, they get this many experience. When they discover this thing, they get this. And then on top of the
let's see.
roleplay.
We're gonna do this. You have learned a little bit more about the world. You've learned there's that the gnolls carry wolves, and there's also some sort of correlation between wolf and something. So we're gonna give you some experience for learning more about how the things exist down here. You didn't survive your first blizzard. It was only a few hours long, but Yaromir knows what's up, and it's not blizzarding on us.
My only
looks
worry
like it.
is that when I did my omen reading, that was like a week and a half ago. The more we just spend days out here, the less I think Neal looked forward in his calendar of weather.
Now, I marked off the next 2 months of weather patterns.
Right, but I
know.
don't think you took into account 2 months of weather when I made my omen reading.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think,
It's
I
forever
think we
ago.
were planning 2 weeks at the time, so maybe he did that.
Let's see. What else did you do? The fight between Ferris and Nash, I think, was an interesting moment here.
Definitely.
Where the party had to split things apart. So let's mark 200 experience for that. Greg, you didn't learn any new spells, but you did show off some spells, right? You showed off jump for the very first time.
I did, yeah.
You'd used magic missile before, I think.
I'd used magic missile and I'd used shield before. This was my first use of alarm.
Oh, that's right. You did alarm and yeah. And you absolutely called my plan with that cave. Everything that you're like, we shouldn't sleep in the cave. They're going to ambush us from. Yeah, that was exactly the plan that was going through. When you were saying that, I was like, dear God, I spent like hours building this map so we could do this fucking ambush, and they're gonna like, wait, let's not sleep here at night. Oh my God. So I'm going to give you 100 experience for calling it correctly. If everyone had moved, I would have given you some extra experience as well.
Guys.
So let's do that. Divide it by 4 people. Why doesn't everyone bring home exactly 600 experience? Those of you with 10% get 660.
Ah, yes. Nice.
Is that a level for you?
That is.
All right. So it looks like people are
I think
hitting
everyone
third level.
levels except for
I hit
me.
third level last session.
Oh wait, no, but yeah, different experience curves.
So it was
Yeah.
660, you said?
Yes, for the 10%ers.
All right.
You could just say for everybody but Sean.
It is. It is 4. It is 4,000 XP for level 3, right?
Yes, it is, sir.
4012.
4,012.
Luckily, next session I will probably hit level 3.
It's actually 4012 and a half.
And that's 3875.
All right.
All right.
Plus 1 to hit.
Nick, roll it.
Hang on, I'm just changing my.
Ryan, you
Nash-
don't level.
No, I leveled last time. Is Nash getting experience, or is he just staying a one-hit die null or 2?
He's staying a 1-hit die null until such a time as something cool has happened for him. Like if he gets promoted to the pack of something like that, I might increase his hit die.
Or if we
He
give him
doesn't go off an
the
experience
axe
curve, he
of
goes off of
Bokasha
a,
the Kinslayer.
He levels with story reasons, not with in-game stuff.
So he's like a Fire Emblem unit. You don't get experience on
Sure.
it.
And if he
Alright.
significantly joins in combat, I will detract XP from the group for him joining you.
Okay, D10
So if
plus
he
1.
fights in combat, it'll be divided by 5 instead of by 4. So roll your D10 plus 1, Nick.
10.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Boom.
You can
Ooh-wee.
definitely take those gnolls now.
Yeah,
Who cares if there were 30 of them? Plus
That's a
20
lot.
wolves.
that's a lot of HP. Right, time for bed.
All right.
Yeah. Dream creepy null cannibalism dreams.
I had a
always- I
strange
always
amount. I took like a weird amount of enjoyment just watching it slowly get brighter behind Nick. Just like watching the sunlight streaming through the window. As it gets darker here.
Yeah, we gave him our sunlight.
All right, it's been good.
Again.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. That
Fun.
is it for us.
Yep.
We will see you not next weekend, but maybe probably the weekend after that. Who knows? Life is
Hopefully
crazy.
we can get that like schedules ironed out so we're consistent.
One of these days will be every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. One of these days.
That's the plan.
And a discussion thread is going up right now.
Boom.
Excellent.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you next week, next time on the Frozen Frontier.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.